What's up, you all? Welcome back to YouTube. Uh, Today's show is entitled "What Did They Steal?" Um, and I asked this question because I see a lot of videos from Africa, and the overwhelming majority of videos from Africa aren't what you all claim Africa to be. So, in other words, we hear about ancient Kemet, we hear about pyramids, we hear about technology. We hear about we hear about Wakanda. But when you see these videos, it's almost like the people in Africa went backwards. Now, it's funny to me that they stopped building pyramids. Why? Why did they stop building pyramids? Like, why did they stop building these types of structures? I'm just asking. But anyway, but the notion is that that white people stole everything from Africa. This is the notion. So I'm just looking at some, and I have some videos here, and I'm just asking, what did they actually steal? We played the video last time where they made a bridge across the river. They made a bridge with 2 bamboo shoots. The lady fell off the bridge in the water, lost all her stuff. Like, so again, how do we go from having the most advanced civilization in the world to not being able to even build a bridge across some water, like, or fix the road, fix potholes in the road? I'm just asking. This doesn't make any sense. I'm saying.
Hey! Você fura? Você fura para você?
Now the issue is not to, down a group of people. The issue is that there's narratives going around, and people are living off of the narratives, not actual reality. So if you make a bold claim and you say Africa was this, this, and this, you got to be able to back it up. And if Africa was this, this, and this, then we should see a semblance of it today. We should be able to see the greatness today. And again, same with any other country. They tell you all, they keep telling you that white people stole from the world. But when you go to these places, I'm like, they're not, it just don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And so my issue is that if you live or if you act upon a lie, there's going to be a consequence. There's a consequence for lying and a consequence for believing a lie. What we have today is a bunch of narratives just being thrown out. People actually believe them. People get on social media, they say something, people take it as fact because they're lazy.
Baba. Lagi si ba? Hai como Ramni. So guys.
And again, this is not making fun of anybody's culture. This is me saying, on one hand, you're saying that white people stole everything from Africa. But if we go to Africa, we don't see what they stole. What did they steal? Here's my question. I think they're eating honey. I think it's honey, some sap, some from a tree. But my point is, what did they steal? What's being said doesn't make any sense. And so in 2024, this is 4 years past 2020, we got to start existing in the truth. Not my truth, not your truth, not their truth, the truth. We've got this new thing where it's my truth. That's Satan. It's my truth. You either have the truth or you don't. It's my truth. I am the way, the truth, and the life. So y'all are saying you got your own truth, which means you got your own way, you got your own life. I'm telling you, it's satanic. Let's continue.
Nana daging atali nga niya, ani geri de bitala tala nga achali. Maturaman.
Ngani warara. Chali nga chali ko inno katala kaje. Ay ko dianya nana kamalo dianya.
Now, what's funny is I got somebody in the comments and they say, Blanche, get a passport and stop being a Google scholar. I've been to 4 countries in Africa. 4. I've been to 4 countries in Africa. 4. So again, people can say what they want to say because they get on here and just run their mouth. But let's go to somebody that we all know and we all trust.
I've been around black folk all my life, and I'm telling you that they are devoid of wisdom and understanding. They're good at sex and sports, but after that, they don't have understanding about the world.
So again, and again, what I said about Africa wasn't negative. Again, the claim is that white people took from Africa. But the way white people are living is nowhere like how folks live in Africa. It's light years. It's no. I'm not saying it's even better. I'm saying it's not the same at all. So my question is, what did white people actually steal? Because everything y'all tell me that they stole, you can't put your hands on it. I can put my hands on the dish and the lips. I can put my hands on the people when they was under the cow. There was the cows peeing on their head. They washing their head in the cow pee. All that. I can put my hands on that kind of stuff. I've been to Africa. I can put my hands on it. I done seen cultures, countries, all of it. And I can assure you, when I was there, I said to myself, there's no way I'm living over here. And I was in modern places, and I was like, there's no way I'm living over here. There's no way. Because it seems to me, if you go to Africa, what's being built in Africa, the major things being built are built by foreigners. It's facts. You can get mad at me all you want, but on one hand, you all tell me that the Chinese and the Europeans and everybody dominate Africa. But then when I say it, you say, oh, I'm selling out on what I'm talking about. Which one is it? Do the Chinese and the Europeans and the Americans dominate Africa, or is it something else? You can't have it both ways. You can't on one hand say the Africans are victims, and then when I say, yeah, y'all right, because the other people bid everything, and then y'all say I'm a sellout. That's not how that works. So again,
I'm like still, y'all don't know me. I'm type real. When my situation ain't improving, I'm trying to murder everything moving. Feel me?
Why she slapped the clip in though? Why she slap it in like she about to go do some work? Come on, man. Like she about to go fight some demons. Come on, stop. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How are you conscious? How are you conscious enough to have your hair locked up, to have some kind of demonic graphic design on your shirt, probably from ancient Egypt somewhere? You got the rings on, and you got on fake nails. How you gonna have everything real about you, but you see again? Why are you wearing fake nails? Why? Why aren't your natural nails, the nails that touch the earth, the nails that had the earth's dirt up under them, the nails that brought the first child into the world, why aren't those nails good anymore? Why you got on fake nails? Cap. Now, y'all know this gun ain't symbolic. You all know these Negroes. Y'all know these Negroes be playing good cops and robbers with these little crystal guns. You know that, right? You know they be having their gun up, taking pictures. Come on, y'all know how. Come on now. Now y'all know they be sitting there walking around with the crystal gun tucked in their pants. Come on, now. Y'all know this. Come on, why we doing it? Why?
Sometimes I've been around black folk all my life, and I'm telling you that they are devoid of wisdom and understanding. They're good at sex and sports, but after that, they don't have understanding about the world.
Listen to me, black people. You built Fox Broadcasting, which gave them the financial wherewithal to get the NFL. They get the NFL, build up the financial wherewithal to launch Fox News.
You hear this? Black folks couldn't even keep BET. How in the world did black folks build up Fox? Black people had the WB and couldn't keep it. UPN News couldn't keep it. BET couldn't keep it. How in the world did black people build up Fox? Just because he got high cholesterol and a dashiki on don't mean he's spitting facts. Just because he has a receding hairline and a dashiki on with high cholesterol and a propensity for lemon pepper wings does not mean he's spitting facts. It's cap. He just talking. But he knows that the average black person is going to believe him because he's loud. Thank you, Jordan. Jordan said he's spitting fats. F-A-T-S. So again, what he's saying is a bold-faced lie. You notice that everything that black folks take credit for is not tangible. It's not tangible. Let's continue.
Now we're living in a digital world, and what is Tubi doing? Black content, black content, black content, black content.
What is Tubi doing? Tubi is the toilet of entertainment. You got the Zeus network. If you all have some free time, go look up the Zeus network and see how trash it is. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, anytime black people have their hands on something, it's gonna be trash. Go look the Zeus network, they brag about it's all black owned, and go look at the content. The content on the Zeus network is literally death, destruction, and damnation via decadence. Everything deplorable in the world is on the Zeus network. Everything. If I go to Tubi, Tubi is the toilet bowl of entertainment. Anybody and their mama can make a movie and put it on Tubi. That ain't saying nothing. Tubi just gave black folks a platform to be more foolish. This man called it black content. No, it's trash. Roly-poly. Think about how we love Get Out. But what's the premise of Get Out? The premise of Get Out is racism. That's not creative. The premise of Get Out is racism. White people stealing black people is a very played out concept. That was Get Out. And I guarantee most of the folks on set was not black. The movie Us, nobody liked it. Black folks didn't build up Fox at all. And Tubi is a dump. Tubi is trash. Let's continue.
They dropping black I see all the Instagram posts, the Twitter posts, my movie on Tubi, my movie on Tubi, movie on Tubi. And guess what? They numbers are blowing up.
That's like saying that McDonald's numbers is blowing up because black folks like the Big Mac. Burger King's numbers are blowing up because black folks like the Whopper. Taco Bell's numbers are blowing up because black folks like the Mexican pizza. That's actually a knock. These folks say, let these people have an outlet so they can put their decadence on there. I got my movie on Tubi. You got trash on Tubi. You putting trash on Tubi. Hot garbage. Hot garbage left out in the sun and it's 100 degrees outside. Trash. Right. Black folks didn't make Tubi.
Anything that becomes popular, we make it popular. But when you draw the line all the way back to, well, who owns this? Black culture phenomenon. Who owns Tubi?
This is what's funny to me, right? Y'all are making stuff popular on somebody else's hard work. This is what they don't. Y'all not creating nothing. You're not inventing anything. What you're doing is you're jumping on somebody's invention, somebody's platforms, and you're being decadent. Black folks are entertaining because they're foolish. Black culture is very entertaining because it is foolish. Anything that's popular, we make it popular because y'all are foolish. If it's a terrible food, y'all gonna eat it. If it's somewhere you shouldn't go, y'all gonna, like y'all do, like people can live vicariously through the black community. People can just watch y'all be entertained. This man just said, we make everything popular, but we don't own Tubi. So what does that even mean? And this is Isaac Hayes' son. He's a liberal Democrat, just a puppet of puppets. But let me
Tubi is an American over-the-top content platform, ad-supported streaming service owned by Fox Corporation.
Rupert Murdoch.
Oh, wow. Fox owns.
the Moors do all that talking. Go look at the Moors' signs, temples, and them cities. Tell me how they look. Why don't the Hebrew Israelites have an infrastructure? I'll tell you why. Ain't no white folks involved. So y'all mad at Fox because they created a platform that y'all wasn't going to create. Because you can go to Zeus Network, but you got to be decadent. You can go to BET, but you got to be decadent. Folks get mad at what I say, but they can't prove me wrong. You mad at Fox for creating a platform so that y'all can go on there and be foolish. Otherwise, y'all wouldn't have it. It's actually a blessing that you have all these outlets so y'all don't do it in real life. These white folks are actually saving the world by giving y'all platforms. What am I saying? Y'all are foolish in real life. What am I saying? Y'all are foolish in real life. Black culture.
Terrible programming.
Yeah, but we blowing it up. Yeah. Here's the point, though. When it's time to legislate for affirmative action on women's reproductive rights, Fox is lobbying against you.
Fox is owned by a Jewish liberal. This is facts. What you'll find is that most black people running their mouth do not know what they're talking about. They made the guy that owned Fox initially, he only owns 40%. The majority holder of Fox that owns it he's Jewish. I did videos on this. I did videos on all this stuff. I did videos. It's all documented and everything. This man said reproductive rights. That is a communist term. He a chocolate-covered Easter egg head puppet. This man said affirmative action and reproductive rights, Fox is lobbying against you. And Fox is a part of the same system that's pushing it. Let's continue.
So you want Tubi blowing up a company that takes that money and then hands it to Congress and say, now don't give these black people jobs. Like everything.
You see what he just did? This man, listen, they just make stuff up. They can just make it up. He just said that Fox is giving Congress money and saying don't give black people jobs. It's a lie. But guess what? He can say this because black folks believe him. Black people have the ultimate privilege. And that is, if a black person is talking about racism, they are automatically believed. Nobody else on the planet has that privilege. Nobody. Nobody can be complaining about the country, the government, the system, and white folks and be believed except black people. Nobody would question what he's saying. He just told a bold-faced lie. He told a bold-faced, chocolate-covered Easter egg head lie. Rupert Murdoch was a co-chairperson of Fox, executive chairperson of News Corp, the parent company of the Wall Street Journal, HarperCollins, and the New York Post. He is a pure liberal. But guess what his problem is? Guess what Isaac Hayes, Milk Dud, Easter Egg Head Jr.'s problem is?
Sometimes I've been around black folk all my life, and I'm telling you that they are devoid of wisdom and understanding. They're good at sex and sports, but after that, they don't have understanding about the world.
And while Republicans are yelling that states don't have the tools to help with migrants, but rather than work with Democrats, Republicans are targeting communities of color in Democratic cities like Chicago, New York, and Philadelphia. And while
Now, here goes black privilege. She just told a bold-faced lie, but 99% of black people believe what she just said. Most folks listening to her, regardless of color, believe her. Black people have the ultimate privilege because black people have been given the moral high ground. She just said that Republicans are targeting communities of colors in cities that said we're sanctuary cities. Oh, I get it. You wanted to be a sanctuary city because you wasn't by the border. And then you claim that Texas is racist. You claim that all the southern states are racist. So if they're racist, why would you want the poor, helpless, illegal immigrants to be under racist conditions? Why would you not want to welcome them to your city? How in the world are Republicans targeting these cities when these cities bragged and boasted about how they're sanctuary? Matter of fact, they said, we're sanctuary cities and we're good people. They're not sanctuary cities and they're bad people. And now it's the Republicans' fault. She just told a bad weave, stocking cap, glued down edges lie. Let's continue.
Say that it's about Democrat-run cities, I do want to point out another similarity that they have. These are cities that are run by African Americans. So while again, what does me saying it's a Democratic city and then you're saying ran by African Americans, but it's still a Democratic city? But what they do is they throw so much race stuff at you to where the average black mind can't even deal with it. The average black mind is like Neo when he was getting all that programming. He was like, the average black mind is in the Blatrix, getting all that programming at one time. She's lying. And what's cold is, if I call her a liar, I'm hating on black women. I hate my mama. I'm a sellout. So imagine a group of people that even when they get caught lying, you can't call them out, i.e. Juicy Smollett, i.e. the girl that got kidnapped, the girl that got fake kidnapped, i.e. the person at Harvard the lesbian at Harvard, i.e. anybody black in the limelight, you cannot hold them accountable. That's the ultimate form of privilege.
I know that they love to pretend as if there are no racial undertones. It is just striking to me that we specifically are going after African-American run cities.
This girl, but she's lying, but guess what? Nobody cares. Going after cities. This is crazy. Right. What does that even mean? Racial undertone. So that means nobody can see it, but we know it's there. Microaggressions and racial undertones. The biggest cap of the 21st century. That's called black privilege. Somebody talking to you say, ooh, I sense a undertone that's racist. That's privilege. Ooh, your aggressions are on a micro level. That's privilege. Nobody else can do that except the LGBTQPs don't forget X, Y, and Z.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Today, I'm here to tell you that the Western world is in danger. And it is endangered because those who are supposed to have to defend the values of the West are co-opted by a vision of the world that inexorably leads to socialism and thereby to poverty.
Now, again, there's this thing. So these are dynamics, right? Where you say the West, Western nations already have a bad connotation. So what they did was, and again, these people that are in charge, the enemy is very clever. What they did was the goal was to demonize whiteness. And I always say this. I told somebody this other day, and they was like, oh, there's no way this is. The anti-white agenda is the anti-God agenda. They're just using white people to go after God. That's why they make white people symbolic with the Bible. This is not by chance. So when we talk about Western values more oftentimes than not are going to link back to the Bible. You can't compare these third world countries to these Western, they're not even comparison. But they're trying to turn America into a third world country. It's a culture war where they want the American culture to be so overran to where trying to be American is offensive. You notice now, if you have the flag waving, you racist. You black, you a sellout. This is where we are today. You can't even celebrate your country. The only time black folks allow you to celebrate America is when they're on a global stage at the Olympics. That's it. Very narcissistic, very prideful, very decadent. Just look at the inner cities. Imagine the entire country, most of it, being like the inner cities. Everybody dreads the thought. When black people get some money, they leave the hood. Why? If it's so great, if it's so positive, if so much good stuff is going on, why do black folks leave the hood first chance they get?
Unfortunately, in recent decades, motivated by some well-meaning individuals willing to help others, and others motivated by the wish to belong to a privileged caste, the main leaders of the Western world have abandoned the model of freedom for different versions of what we call collectivism. We're here to tell you that
collectivism, which is going to lead to a one world government and a global citizen. We all in it together. And we saw this propaganda during the Peter pandemic. We're all in this together. We got to fight this thing together. We got to do our part. Do it for your neighbor. Do it for your, it's all cap.
Activist experiments are never the solution to the problems that afflict the citizens of the world. Rather, they are the root cause. Do believe me, no one better placed than us, Argentines, to testify to these 2 points.
Islam is the most red-pilled religion a lot of people that I respect ended up finding Islam. So I think that there's something to that.
Is Andrew Tate?
Yeah, he's a Muslim now.
He's a Muslim.
Yeah.
Are you against grooming?
Yeah, that's gross.
How do you feel about like the fact that Muhammad like married a 9-year-old girl?
Listen, that was just his hustle.
I don't know how true that is.
But I don't think any Muslims deny it.
If that's true, then he's not. Then nobody's perfect.
If your wife cheats or disobeys you in some ways, the Quran does order Muslim men to like strike their wives. Do you think that's okay?
I mean, if it works for them.
When you say like if it works for them, you're like indifferent if some men beat their wives.
I mean, it worked for a long time. That's going to get you in jail now. So I'm not going to advocate anybody to do that.
So that's that guy Sneako. And again, he doesn't want to offend Islam. So you notice that Islam is a religion that people go to out of popularity because it's cool. Most folks go to Islam because they believe it's anti-Christian. Most people turn to Islam in these modern countries where Islam isn't the dominant religion because it's cool. It's anti-Christian. It's seen as anti what the white man built. Anti what the white man did. It's not a spiritual reason why they go to Islam. Even Andrew Tate will tell you that it wasn't a spiritual reason why he went. And I agree that I probably would venture to say that most folks don't say it's a spiritual experience where God came to them and said, you should be a Muslim. I know many of folks that said God spoke to them before they joined the faith, before they became a believer. I haven't heard anybody say that Allah spoke to me. Muhammad sent me a text and said, come be a Muslim. But Sneako, he's hearing things that he doesn't agree with, but he can't say anything because he doesn't want to offend someone that might be Muslim. But I guarantee he has no problem offending a Christian. And it's always these women that just come on these shows and just talk matter-of-factly that expose these guys. These women expose these men very quickly. We've seen it countless times. I've shown it. These women expose these men quick. It don't take a long time. In a couple of minutes, they get exposed.
Black, indigenous, and people of color, your ancestors were scholars.
No, they weren't. My great-grandpa was an illiterate sugarcane peasant in colonial Japan, in colonial Taiwan. And he was so broke that when he wanted to marry his wife, he had to sell the last name of his first 2 sons, their surnames, in order to pay his wife's dowry. And he was illiterate for the rest of his life. His firstborn son, my grandfather, was the first person to leave the farm and move to a city, learn a trade, become an engineer, and he only did that because Taiwan industrialized, and Taiwan industrialized because of colonization. So, no, my ancestors weren't scholars. They were broke, illiterate peasants.
He just kept it real. But guess what? Nothing wrong with it. Like, again, it's nothing wrong with my ancestor being a farmer. There's nothing wrong with it. But somewhere in the black consciousness, they started making this stuff grandiose when it wasn't. Africa was kings and queens. Everybody can't be a king and a queen. It's foolish. Most people aren't royalty around the world. That is a very select class. Less than 1% of the global population is royalty. You mean to tell me Africa had everybody was a king and a queen? Stop. Stop. For you to be captured and put on a ship and brought to America, you couldn't have been no king or a queen. For them to capture you and enslave you, you couldn't have been that high up. Because if you was that high up, it'd have been a negotiation. It'd have been a treaty signed, or something. It'd have been a big thing happen. Not you just get shipped off like some cargo. Not you be the first package shipped out to the new world. If you was really that important, it would have been some bartering going on, or it would have started a war. Either way, y'all wasn't kings and queens. I'm sorry. You just wasn't. This man said my ancestors, they was peasants, they was farmers, but he still love them though, because they paved the way for him. Ain't nothing wrong with your grandfather being a farmer. A farmer is an honorable profession. To me, a farmer is to me the most godly profession, because God is a farmer. Because in God's system, we believe in seed, time, and harvest. God acts like a farmer most of the time. We got to have a seed of faith to plant. Listen, so to me, the most godly profession is a farmer.
Sometimes I've been around black folk all my life, and I'm telling you that they are devoid of wisdom and understanding. They're good at sex and sports, but after that, they don't have understanding about the world.
The only reason black folks dominate sports is because of proximity. And you look at the NBA right now, the top 3 players in the NBA arguably are foreigners. The top 3 players in the NBA right now currently, I can argue, are foreigners. So as the game goes global, there will be less and less dominance for black men. You know, once they take away the physicality of the game, once they make it just about scoring and offense, you can't touch nobody, that favors every other race on the planet. And don't let football go global. You'll lose that too. I have no desire for a child. In my mind, I cannot fathom a grown man having a desire for a 9-year-old. This is insane to me. It's insane. There is nothing appealing about a 9-year-old girl. She's a child. So again, I don't have to agree with it. And I would just say it's wrong. How about that? I'm going to say it's wrong too. I'm going to just say it's wrong. Nobody's perfect. What grown man is attracted to a 9-year-old? That is a problem. Let's go back to Africa real quick. There you go, black people. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, look at their hair. Look at their skin. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, they're so beautiful. Oh, our people so. Look at that. Look. Now, y'all told me ancient civilizations, running water, electricity, built all this stuff, communicating with the gods, but then they pull a video up and he clicking them loose teeth together. What did white people steal? Now again, I'm not knocking the culture because that's their culture. My thing is, y'all putting a lot on their culture though, because y'all told me these same people was flying around in spaceships. How did they go from having indoor plumbing, electricity, all this stuff to sound like a rattlesnake about the mouth? Please tell me how. How are y'all telling me these folks did all this great stuff, but now they can't build a bridge across a river? Tia Barnes said they probably eat people. He probably got a bone in his mouth now. He probably got a bone of a person in his mouth now, clicking and clacking. You know you big when the sides of your feet touch the ground and you got shoes on. You know you are big when the sides of your feet are touching the ground and you have shoes on. Now they lied and said that the white man's diet got black people fat. This is what they say that the Western diet got black folks fat. Continue.
I've been seeing this picture floating around on the internet, and I've been reading the comments. Comments from my people, my black people. Take me with you. Take me back. Get me out of here. Get on that ship if you want to. Get on that ship if you want to. They gonna tear your ass up. Soon you leave the earth, they're gonna just start biting you. Soon you leave the earth, they're gonna start biting you. There ain't nothing you can do to stop. No, I thought we were family. No, we family. You a delicacy. They ain't gonna cook you. They ain't gonna season you. They ain't got time for all that. They ain't got time for all that. Soon you leave, they biting. Soon you get up out of here, they gonna eat the fuck out you.
So there's this picture. I don't know if you all have seen it, but there's this picture, and it has like a bunch of men, black men with afros and beards, and it's a bunch of spaceships. So black folks is, they love this kind of mythology, this kind of foolishness. And so the assumption is that these people came to Earth, black folks would leave with them, and he's like, they're gonna eat you. Like black people have been so conditioned and brainwashed to think that skin color means allegiance. Even the term all skin folk ain't kinfolk is foolish. Why would you assume that just because somebody looked at you, that y'all was gonna have the same ideas now? It don't make sense. Like even the term all skin folks ain't kinfolk don't make any sense. Why would you make that assumption? That because somebody had the same skin tone as you, they was gonna ride with you? That's absolute foolishness.
For some time, I've been around black folk all my life, and I'm telling you that they are devoid of wisdom and understanding. They're good at sex and sports, but after that, they don't have understanding about the world.
I feel his pain because, once you see it, you're like, man.
With being racist. God is racist.
These are Black Hebrew Israelites, members of a religious group that believe black people are descendants of ancient Israelites.
He created his chosen people, which will be the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans of today, to be above all other nations of people that are upon the face of the earth.
Top enemies of God, as you've interpreted the Bible: Caucasians, Chinese, Japanese,
Arabs, and in the modern day Jewish men. He created them to be destroyed. They are nothing but be like unto spit. God does not actually love everybody.
Can I just kill myself at this point? God is in support of whatever may happen in Gaza?
Yes, God is all in support of war.
The Lord is a man of war.
America as a whole is prophesied to be destroyed with international continental ballistic missiles. The entire nation has to repent, and the Most High God judges as a nation.
After asking him what I could do to escape eternal damnation, he said this:
bow down with both knees with your face towards the earth.
Important story everybody should hear about today. Government authorities raid Amos Miller's organic farm and seize his food in Pennsylvania. Not drugs, organic farm. He doesn't use any electricity, chemical fertilizers, or eugenic injections, or any GMOs. Very, very dangerous, it seems. And let's take a look at his farm. Oh, look at these beautiful little cows having a great time. They're not factory farmed. They're not injected with poisons. They're not fed a bunch of Monsanto's foods. The real deal. Miller's Organic Farm has never been touched by chemicals. We are providing high quality foods to our members and never to the public. It's actually a private company. Now, what's odd about the whole entire thing is that medical malpractice, pesticides, and obesity kill 1 million people per year, but organic farming is the threat to the system.
So, dear black people, again, some more white folks getting attacked for doing what's right.
Black feminists, capital B, capital F.
I'm unapologetically black and I'm unapologetically a feminist. And look, depending on what circles you're in, it's hard to be both those things at the same time. But I think that being both those things is the thing that will save us. There is a truth telling that happens at that nexus of blackness and feminism, at that space of having to work twice as hard to get half as far, which is a black proverb, and at that space of knowing that so often.
How you working twice as hard, but you weigh 3 times as much? Now, I wasn't that good at math, but how you working twice as hard, but you weigh 3 times as much? You gotta make that make sense to me. Somebody lying. Ain't no way in the world she working twice as hard, but she weigh 3 times as much. I see 1, 2, I see 3 chins. They say she got more chins than a Chinese phone book. Remember that? But again, I'm just trying to figure out how you working twice as hard and you big as a bread box. Cholesterol, diabetes, heart working extra. How you working harder than anybody? How?
You can be the dopest chick in the room and they'll give it to the mediocre white man in the room.
Ain't nothing dope about you, ma'am. Nothing. Nothing. You're overweight, ma'am. You're big. You're obese. You're fat. There is nothing dope about you. You complain every day on social. There's nothing dope about you. And notice she didn't say qualified. Notice she didn't say more intelligent. Notice she said dopest. Something that's subjective. What does that even mean? You're a dope. Get out of here.
Putting those things together gives you a clarity and a vision about where we can go if we stop oppressing black folks and women and gender non-conforming folk. And so black feminism taught me that, and I think it can teach you that too.
Black feminism taught you all of that, but it did not teach you to stop eating. You can't tell me that you get all this revelation from being a feminist, but then you big as a bread box. You can't have it both ways. Need to be a new show. My 600-pound activist life. My 600-pound social justice life. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My 600-pound social justice. Now listen now.
You're me and only me. You know, I seriously don't understand why I have to constantly put up with these dumbasses here every day. Between these ungrateful black kids who can't test their way out of a paper bag, or these teachers who don't get it, how hard is it to get these students to meet their grade level expectations? Lawrence and Ravenel should have never been hired. And don't let me get started on DJ. I'm going to drag his black ass out of here one way or another. I'm going to get something to stick. I'm just so sick of the inadequacies of these people. And if I have to get one more complaint from one more Jew in this community, I'm going to join the other side. Kathy, I'm done. I'm the principal here, me and only me. You know, I seriously don't understand why I have to constantly put up with these dumbasses here every day.
Now, working in education, I can agree with that statement. Most folks in education are stupid. That's why most of your woke black activists come from academia. They're dumb. They're slow. They're slow. And so again, you can tell they're chopping this up because if they played the whole thing with context, you wouldn't be offended. There's a reason why they chop things up because they want you to be emotional. But again, in education, you will be surrounded by a bunch of dumb people. So I agree with that statement.
Between these ungrateful black kids who can't test their way out of a paper bag.
Between these ungrateful black children that can't test their way out of a paper bag. Again, we already know that the majority of black children are not reading, writing, or doing math on grade level. This is a fact. So what he's saying is the truth. Now, what black folks want him to say is nothing at all. Don't mention it. This is why I talk about how the black outrage is capped. How are black people outraged at what somebody said on social media, but not outraged that these children can't read, write, or do math on grade level? They're not outraged at the abortion rate at 1,000 a day. They're not outraged at the homicide rate, accounting for 55% of the homicides in the U.S., 6% of the population, black men. So the fact that black people aren't upset about those things lets me know that everything else is capped. Let's continue.
Or these teachers who don't get it. How hard is it to get these students to meet their grade level expectations?
I'll tell you why it's hard, sir. Because they can't read or write or do math on grade level. So before your teacher got that student, they were passed by the previous teacher and passed by the previous teacher and so on and so forth. They kept getting passed along. So right around at about 5 years old, the child couldn't read. But there's no way that that black parent was going to have their child repeat the kindergarten. Even though their child couldn't read, even though that black parent made all kind of promises, I'm going to teach them how to read this summer, all this cap, they would not want to let their child be embarrassed by going to kindergarten for another year. So imagine the priorities of black folks that would rather be illiterate than stay in a grade level and learn how to read. So dear principal of Pikesville High School, your teachers are at a great disadvantage because they are getting children that are literally on grade level, probably of the 5th or 6th grade. I'm sorry. Let's continue.
Lawrence and Ravenel should have never been hired. And don't.
Yes, in education, oftentimes, like any other job, there are folks that should not be hired. People have frustrations about people they hire all the time. Nothing, that's normal.
Let me get started on DJ. I'm going to drag his black ass out of here one way or another. I'm going to get something to stick.
Now you notice, whoever DJ is, he's probably cheating the system somehow, some way, doing something. And then he said, I'm going to get something to stick. That's a whole separate sentence. You can tell the editor, they cut it off. Again, if they play what he said all the way through, you're not going to be offended by it. They have to chop it up to make it sound racist to get you all emotional. Now, he used the word his black A, but I know when black folks get mad, the first thing they bring up is a white person's color. The first thing they say is white. White this, white that, race cracker, hunky. So black will do all the time. So black folks talk like that. So y'all shouldn't be offended because he does it. You only feel offended when he does it because you feel inferior to him. That's the only reason. You feel like he's above you. Because there's no way you feel like he's on the same level as you and you're offended by what he says. You're not. So anyway, let's go. Let's continue.
I'm just so sick of the inadequacies of these people.
I'm so sick of the inadequacies of these people. They try to cut it up for you to make you think these people, black people. Again, it's all propaganda and trickery, y'all. It's all a setup. I know what he's going through in education. These folks aren't qualified and they're teachers and they just want a paycheck. Teaching is something you cannot do for money because you don't get paid enough for what you got to deal with. So when somebody says, I'm teaching to get paid, they're a terrible teacher. The students know it. Most black folks go into education for a check. For a check. Not to better the students' lives, for a check. How do you know this? There's a movie called Lean on Me. When Joe Clark showed up to get the school right, they were upset. They didn't want him there. The man came to get the school right, and the staff got mad at him.
Kathy, I'm done.
Somebody recorded him. Was it Kathy? Who recorded him? Now think about it. This man ain't never been accused of being racist. But guess what? He's going to lose his job. And y'all tell me black folks ain't got no privilege. You out your mind.
God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory,
that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, watch this,
may give unto you the spirit of wisdom.
So brothers, we all want God to give us the spirit of wisdom. Go ahead.
And revelation.
And we want the Lord to bless us with that spirit of revelation. Go ahead.
In the knowledge of him.
In the knowledge of him. That's what you put. If y'all ain't praying for it, you better pray for it. Go ahead.
The eyes of your understanding being enlightened.
Brothers, understand the eyes of your understanding being enlightened. Go ahead.
That ye may know what is the hope of his calling.
That you may know what is the hope of his calling. Because you're all called in here for a reason. It's not just to get a wife or a spouse. Okay? It's to improve our lives, gear ourselves towards getting the kingdom of heaven on earth.
That's right.
To gather the 12 tribes of Israel. Read that.
Now, what they said was profound in this video. You can sift through all the foolishness. What they said was God giving you wisdom and revelation. And so a good indicator of your relationship with God is how much you understand what's going on. Your wisdom and discernment and understanding lets me know if you're talking to God or not. So the fact that these people are still lost lets me know they're not talking to God. So who are they talking to? God is not the author of confusion. So my question is, if they are not talking to God, because the indication of talking to God and knowing who God is to have wisdom, understanding, and get revelations. So if these people don't have that, who are they talking to? Who are they talking to? Because it's not God. Based on what they wrote, based on what they read.
That the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory,
that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, watch this,
may give unto you the spirit of wisdom.
So brothers, we all want God to give us the spirit of wisdom. Go ahead.
And revelation.
And we want the Lord to bless us with that spirit of revelation. Go ahead.
In the knowledge of him.
In the knowledge of him. That's what you put. If y'all ain't praying for it, you better pray for it. Go ahead.
The eyes of your understanding being enlightened.
Brothers, understand the eyes of your understanding being enlightened.
I've been around black folk all my life, and I'm telling you that they are devoid of wisdom and understanding. They're good at sex and sports, but after that, they don't have understanding about the world.
I love you all. And I thank you all for tuning in today. We'll see you all on Sunday, Cutting Through the Culture at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with Chad O, Keisha, and Teach 'em Chuck. Anyway, I love you all. I want you to have a blessed night. Take care, and I will see you all Sunday. Thank you.